Hi, ANSHU-SHARMA here. Let's start the introductory talk on ego, emotional integrations and other emotions. Welcome and my love to you. Senses receive the signals from outer environment. These sensory perceptions are then transferred to the sensory centers in the brain that hands them over to the conscious mind. Frontal lobe of the brain contains intelligence. Conscious mind consults the subconscious mind where the past impressions, programs and other habit patterns lie as memory. Suppose one such program lies in someone's memory and that program is anger and shouting gets the work done. If that person discovers his food not being on the table according to his expectations by 8 p.m., then his memory pulls out that program and hands it over to the conscious mind. Conscious mind, without consulting the intellect, jumps into action, and that is shouting. This person is now angry. This is reaction. This is how you react in various circumstances. When your emotions flare up, ego keeps you unconscious. If this process is repeated, then you come into ego's identification. Maybe the anger came once or twice, but now people label you as being an angry person. When you are not aware of this process of mind jumping into action without giving enough time to intellect to discern, decide, discriminate, and decide on a suitable course of action, you are unconscious. This is cause and effect. You see, feel, touch or hear something and then you react. When you do this, you are in egoic or unconscious mind loop. Let us make it conscious. Conscious mind receives sensory perceptions from outside as usual. It then consults the memory and the memory hands over the past reactions. But this time the conscious mind waits and hands the matter over to the intellect. Intellect is the faculty that discriminates, decides, discerns, and then chooses the appropriate response after deliberation. This chosen response is then handed over to the conscious mind that now instructs the sense organs accordingly. This new response is then played outside. And then it gets registered back as a new response in the memory. A new choice or pathway gets created. Next time, on similar situation, conscious mind receives past reactions plus now the new response, which was recently registered from the memory. Both are handed over to the intellect that weighs out the options along with the situation and comes up with a response that is executed. So this is how your intellect generates a new response in a conscious manner. Let's see it through a diagram. I hope you can see it. This is when your mind is unconscious and this is when the mind is conscious. You can see in the second picture that the mind is handing over the matter to the intellect. and a new response is being played out and registered in the memory. This is how you keep handing the matter over to the intellect, and the intellect keep revising the old and keep creating the new response till the issue you are encountering is balanced. When this happens, peace, joy and happiness returns into your system. And the underlying issues along with your emotions disappears. When this happens, you experience a new reality. In these talks, many guidelines, choices, instructions and strategies have been provided. Plus, you can create your own. So we see that listening to others and reading all the spiritual material helps, because now you have the information base. But the real help is felt when you balance these energies underlying your issues, traumas, pains and sufferings. When people don't do this, they feel that I have been listening to the talks but my life is not changing. They say so because they are not putting new responses into the action. When you do that, you make knowledge your own. One by one, you address your emotions and study your reactions. You also study outside stimulus, throwing you in that particular emotional state. You keep handing the matter over to your intellect, which is your higher self. And you wait patiently for an appropriate response that you put into action. You wait for the guidance. A lot of knowledge has been provided in these talks on how your ego works. So with the knowledge you have of the ego, you can start recognizing the egos working within. When ego take you into the past and making stories, taking you into the mode of complaining, criticizing and putting you down on the downward spiral of victimhood, you say, I choose not to go into the direction where my ego is taking me. Instead, I consult my higher self in the now. This is how gradually you weaken the ego. Reading the material and watching the videos again and again will deepen and firm your understanding. It requires your attention, your active participation, and to understand the information held beneath the words. Self-effort requires commitment, but the rewards are big. You become conscious and more aware. You become conscious when you are aware of the processes going within. You start recognizing ego and stop being identified with it. When you consult your intellect and your higher self. When you take self-responsibility and you execute a new response. This is self-effort. Self-effort gives you power. From victimhood, you move towards empowerment. And it takes you towards a journey of being self-sovereign. I congratulate you for choosing this journey. And I wish you all the best. Lots of love and light. Bye.